What's up everyone, Skizzers here, and welcome back to the Playbook, a series that goes over strategy, habit building, and tools you can use to get yourself top fragging and carrying your team in no time. In this video, we will be discussing how to make retaking while in disadvantage work as a solo player, and how to stall for teammate success. So, as always, let's start with the clip.
Shadows traveling. You were a mistake.
30 seconds left.
One shower.
Stealing sight.
One enemy remaining.
You.
10 seconds left.
Planting B.
I have planted the spike.
Alright, so, first thing is first. Now, as we're entering the site, right, we're talking about a retake. So, we are 2 players versus 4 players, alright? And that is mighty disadvantaged state, right? And on top of that, if you look at the map, we're not coming in from the same angle. So my Cypher is coming in from market, and I am coming into either dark/fence or up into heaven. Now with this, as a solo player, you have no control over your teammate, and you don't in general, but you can kind of plan some things a little bit better if you're in a party. But the fact that I'm a solo player here, I need to figure out how I can retake this by myself. So honestly, whatever Cypher does, we don't really care about. The only thing we care about with Cypher is any information he gathers. So as we're still looking at the minimap, so as Cypher comes through and he checks these areas and starts heading towards the bomb, what we want from Cypher is to see where enemies are at and then play based on that. And so if I play here and we start getting this going, so I throw a smoke and I don't know where any of them are. We lost a site a while ago, so we're trying to just retake it at this point, and we're on attack, as you can see with the bomb. Now right there, just gonna rewind just a little bit. Now Phoenix is shooting at me, and he is really close to hitting me, but he misses all the headshots, and that's more of just me being lucky. I didn't know that somebody was coming on the flank, but I was being followed, and Phoenix had an opportunity to basically win this round for his team, but he didn't. He was close, he was very, very close, but he didn't. And because he missed, that gave me an opportunity to try and clutch this out. So first thing I do is I peek back, try to take this shot. Now I saw him peek back away into cover, so I could hold that angle, or I could get information on the site. Now Cypher, he has an op, it looks like, or a marshal, and he is sage walled off. So Cypher sage walled, and there might be a gap, but we can't really tell from our angle, and we can't tell from the map either because the bomb's directly on top of it. So we don't know what Cypher can see, but what we do know is market and this kind of back area is all clear, so we don't have to worry about anything behind him or somebody coming from the direction where he's at, like coming from market, right? Like we don't have to worry about that. What we do have to worry about is somebody behind truck, somebody in U-Haul, somebody in vents, somebody in shower, somebody under heaven. Maybe there's even somebody in default. We don't know. So that's a lot of spots we can check. There's also the boxes over there, right in the corner. So there's a lot of areas, a lot of question marks, and we have to try to make an educated guess going into this of where to look first. So we know that over yonder, Phoenix is, looking at the map, Phoenix is right here, right? So Phoenix is in their spawn. We don't know where anybody else is. So we know one person at least is on this flank, which means it's more or less unlikely for somebody to be in vent. And the only reason I say that is sometimes you get people that double up, but generally speaking, if there's somebody kind of covering this area, you don't really have two people covering that area, right? So as far as vent goes, I would guess that there's nobody there. That doesn't really mean too much in the sense of if there's somebody exiting U-Haul, like right in here, they could rotate into vent. But as far as somebody sitting in vent right this second, I don't think anybody's in there. We did also see it as we passed by, so they would have to come into sight into vent to see that. Now, if I hit play, we pop out and we see that Cypher was coming from somewhere. We're not entirely sure where, but chances are, based on his positioning, that he came through U-Haul and was starting to head that way, because you saw that he was watching heaven, but he was walking into the smoke. And now when I peeked and I popped out, he started strafing back more deep into sight to try to get those hits off. And we make really quick work of him, really easy headshot. Now we haven't forgotten that Phoenix is behind us, so we re-peek, and we're lucky enough to get that kill. And by luck I mean skill. We got those shots down. Now we get to call out that there's one showers. And at this point, this was actually kind of interesting, because if you look, I only looked to check, I didn't look to shoot. And this is something I'd like to point out. So when I look over here, all I'm looking for is a body, and I'm looking for bodies here, maybe one's over there. Obviously they're not going to come through the portal because this is a one-way. And in looking for the players, the issue is here, what if there's a player right here, right? What if there's somebody here? Well, my crosshair is aimed at the portal. Like, when I snapped, I should have had a plan in mind to snap to. So what I would suggest is, if I just back this up a couple frames, what I would suggest is when you go to peek and you start to swing, see I stopped there, keep swinging and have a place in mind that you want your crosshair to line up on. So what I would say, the best way to go about this is from here, I should be going, okay, I want to check boxes and I want to check U-Haul right after. So right about here, my crosshair should be lined up right here. I should be aiming and holding that for a split second. So the crosshair needs to go up a little bit and aim in this area. Meaning that if somebody's peeking this, I can get a headshot or get a upper torso spray down. Now, as soon as I check this, so just check this for a split second. As soon as this is done checking, then transfer the crosshair over here. So you'll be aiming over towards U-Haul, because that's where all the enemies are going to be. Now, the only place else that somebody could be that we don't know is right here. And this is truck is right here. So this is, the truck that's parked, and somebody could be right on the other side of that. And we don't have vision of them, but they would have vision of us, because that line kind of cuts here. They would at least see the tip of our gun, if nothing else. So this is the only spot that we don't know. So ideally, what would happen is while you're making this turn, while you're making this peek, you check 1. So this is 1. Then you transfer over to here. This is 2. And then quickly transfer over here as 3. And you might spend just like a fraction of a second in each of these checks. But if you check all those 3 spots while you're making this wide, because we're wide swinging right now technically, we heard that somebody's in the shower, so we know someone's here and there's 2 players. And although, in hindsight now we know it's Sage, we'll just circle Sage. So 1 player is in showers. So Sage is there. Sage is in showers over here. So we don't know where Reyna is. All we know is she's probably on the map, or on the on this bomb site. Excuse me. She is on the map for sure, but she's probably on this bomb site somewhere. So that's what I would do, is like, as you're starting to, I know I didn't do it here, but looking back, if I were to coach somebody about this, as you're wide swinging, because you're no longer looking at this, and you're only going to be looking in this general area for a brief moment in case Showers does peek. If Sage peeks and you're not looking at her, obviously you're gonna get taken out. But there is this wall here, remember? There's this wall right here, and Cypher can't see through it yet. Now I think he's throwing a camera, or he's doing something. He's throwing something out. So he can't cover your U-Haul yet. Oh yeah, you can see right here. He's throwing his little trap. So Cypher's throwing his trap out to block off U-Haul. Now with that knowledge, remember this is all in an instant, so you'd probably still end up checking here, but theoretically you could be checking here as 1 and just immediately transfer over here as 2 and not worry about U-Haul because Cypher's wall is going to go up. Now, as a solo queue player, you don't know if he's going to pop it immediately or not. I'm pretty sure he ends up popping it immediately. So that might be more of a team thing where your teammate goes, hey, I'm going to wall off U-Haul, and that means this whole area you no longer have to worry about as far as somebody peeking and then also shooting you from that area. So moving forward, obviously, like I said, this is a mistake where I'm not aiming at these spots, and now we also know that this player that could have been here is no longer here. And once again, on this peak, we want to be hitting box, U-Haul, and then next to truck. And we didn't do that, but that is something that you should do because I could have been severely punished from any of these spots. The only one that I might have had a chance is on box, and that's just because my crosshair was kind of flicking in this direction and we kind of went past it. So I could have kind of went this direction, saw a guy, and flicked back and shot him. This one was probably the only shot I had at actually winning the duel, where if somebody was pre-aiming here in this corner and I'm aiming here, I have to flick this distance, they're already lined up on me, and I would be a goner off of that. So just something to keep in mind while you're checking and while you're wide peeking or trying to retake a site where you don't know where everybody's going to be. Make sure that you think ahead. And this is hard to do like in the heat of the moment, the big situation, right, that you're trying to deal with, but try your best to think what is the geometry of the map as you're proceeding through an area. Where would I need to look? Where's the important spots? Where are common hiding spots? This is a common hiding spot. This is a common hiding spot. And this is if the wall is open, or if the wall is closed. So if the wall is closed over here, somebody can't come through short. This is a common spot. But if the wall's open, or if if short is open completely, this is not an area that you would see people in. So moving forward, I take that little look, and what I'm thinking by this is, if we're looking at the minimap, I'm going to cover basically all of Showers minus this area. And I didn't see anybody initially. I just rewind a little bit here. As I'm coming here, I don't see anybody. Now somebody could be like right here, I guess, but it's pretty unlikely at this point that I would have seen them, or if they were there that I would have seen them. And so I start lining up here, and then I see the Cypher trap, right? So I'll go back frame just so we can see that. So I threw Paranoia, and the only place that somebody could be is there. Maybe they're out back here, or they're already swinging on me into sight, right? And I thought that the player that I kind of put what I would be doing, and what I would be doing is I would be within this box. I'd be kind of right here is where I would have been had I been the Sage in this situation. And the only reason I say that is knowing that my teammates died here and here, and they would have heard me jump down off of heaven. So I had jumped down and they heard that. I probably wouldn't take this peek because we're trying to play time, right? There's 19 seconds left. So how would I die in this situation? Well, if somebody peeked me through Showers. So I would actually be sitting about here at a slight off angle, holding Showers entrance with whatever gun I have. And we also know in hindsight that Reyna is in U-Haul. So with Reyna being here and Sage being here, I know that my teammate should have the bomb covered. because she's hovering this area right where the bomb is. And because she actually wasn't where I thought she was, she still did get blinded, but she was right at the door. She was actually like right here where the edge of the paranoia, because paranoia kind of like did that, right? So it was like the edge of the paranoia. She was peeking this, which I wouldn't have done, so I wasn't ready for this. And my game plan was, okay, I throw paranoia, I know how long the blind lasts, I'll shoot this, and then I'll peek in and then take out Sage player. Now luckily she's blinded. I think it cuts off somewhere right here, maybe it's right here, but she shouldn't be able to see me, basically is the point. When she was going off of his timing window, this is something you can use against Phoenix as well. For Phoenix, if we'll do a nice stick figure there, boom, that's Phoenix. And he snaps his fingers and he's got his little fire flash. If he throws it and it loops around and it blows up, you know you have basically quarter of a sec, or you have a half second to a full second before he completely can peek an angle, if he's depending on the trajectory of the flash, right? So if you get blinded, you can actually just pre-fire this lane right here and he will walk into it and get killed. So that's kind of the same thought process here. Is she got blinded probably about here as she was peeking, and just tried to estimate how long it would take me to walk in front of the door that she was already aiming at. And so I'm just thinking about, we're gonna shoot this and we're gonna peek. This is the first frame we see her, and then I have to go, oh crap, we're not shooting that, we're just gonna try to kill her. And usually aiming is important in FPS games, but since she's blind and we can tell she's blind by this big circle thing over her head, I just kept spraying because I knew how long the blind lasted and there's no chance of her actually killing me there. It was going to take her too long to get another sniper round loaded, and if she pulled out a pistol, maybe she gets the lucky headshot, but the chances of that are all pretty low. So we're just going to rewind that one more time. You can see it in real time again. Get the blind, take her out. And then at that point, I go, there's no reason to shoot this, right? There's no reason to shoot it. And if I shoot it, it just gives away the position that I could be going to showers. Now, there is the option of doing that, but what I was worried about is Reyna coming out of U-Haul and killing me. And this is actually pretty gutsy of me because I have 2 bullets left, and I am like full on body checking U-Haul. Now there's still a wall here, but I don't know what I was planning on retaliating. I know I'm in the process of reloading right now, but I'm reloading staring at where the enemy could be. So what I should have done is, even if I wasn't going to shoot this, I should have stood like where the wall protected me, right? Finished the reload and then peeked. Just a little thing. I see this happen sometimes. This was all kind of heat at the moment, obviously, but if you have no ammo, and especially if you're reloading, right, this is mid-reload, don't peek them as you're reloading, because that person can just shoot you and you can't do anything about that, right? So hiding behind this wall would have been a better option. Finish the reload, and then after the reload's done, wide swing again, and then take this angle. And from being behind this wall, what I would be doing is I'd be looking this way, and then like during the wide swing, and then as I reveal myself to U-Haul, I would be aiming at U-Haul. Now the only tell that we have is this. If we're looking at the map, Reyna's Leer, or eyeball, came out. So get the kill here. Cypher says peace later. You got the kill, cool. I am out. So he goes through the teleporter, and he gets the bomb. And this was actually a really, really good play from Cypher. We have 16 seconds left. We'd have to either kill Reyna or somehow get a plant and then kill her afterwards. This kind of at least allows Cypher to be able to 1v1 if I get killed. So I get the kill. I kind of peek out here. You hear the Leer, you see the Leer, and I get blinded. And once again, this entire process here, right? So we're just gonna kind of slow motion frame by frame this. So I'm reloading. I can basically get shot at any point here. I am blind by the Lear, and I'm pushing outwards, so now I'm not behind cover anymore. And I'm still reloading, not behind cover. And then I go and shoot the eye, which is fine to do, but I'm not in any cover. So as this kind of dissipates, it will just do right there. Reyna could have been right here, hard peeking me. She could have shot me. She could have repositioned and pushed. She ends up repositioning a little bit, but she could have pushed from this site or this spot in the map, and I would have been gone because I just kind of like sat here out in the open, reloading and shooting. So that's something I don't know what I was thinking during this, but maybe it was just like adrenaline in the moment. I wanted my ace because I had 4 kills, and I just felt really confident maybe, but that wasn't the best play. So as far as retaking, these are things to think about while you're entering a site. Check multiple areas, make sure that you're covered and that you're slowly taking over the map, because if you remember, we started here looking at the map, we checked here, we came up, we checked through here, there was an enemy behind us we killed, and as we peeked in, we killed somebody here, and then we dropped down. So this area is clear, this whole back area is clear because everything's checked. And then as we pushed up, we checked boxes as far as peak angles, U-Haul, and then the truck, and the truck was clear. So that area is good and nobody was peeking us. Then we killed showers. So we walked over here, which we were good. We killed showers. So now all of this area is basically good, right? We've cleared this site. The only place we hadn't cleared is U-Haul, but once and we didn't clear boxes either, right? But when Cypher grabbed the bomb and went through teleporter, that told me that boxes was clear because there wasn't anyone there. So the only place left somebody could be on site is U-Haul. So even if Reyna did not throw her Lear out, she didn't try to flash, we would know that the only place left on this bomb site that there could be a player is in U-Haul. So I'd be looking here anyway. So at this point, we have retaken over the site. We successfully took back A, and Cypher's on B. And we know Reyna's on A. We know Reyna's in U-Haul. We know Reyna's in this area. 100%. She threw out the Lear, and she hadn't pushed out. So at this point, we have 13. This part is going to be a little bit more niche, but we have 13 seconds left. Cypher's going to go plant the bomb on B. And I have a decision to make. I can either just run over through the teleporter, try to system. I could go around through dark / fence, go through CT, and go around to the bomb site and system there. Or, knowing that Reyna is right here, I can stall for Reyna. I can stall for her to peek, because she has no options. She can either come out this way, or she can come out this way. So all I need to do is position myself in a spot that I can see both exits, and we should win the round. If I get killed, there's obviously a chance that we could lose, but I can stall and give Cypher enough time that puts maybe just a really hard time constraint on Reyna, and she can't actually come back and win the round. So what I do is I position myself right here in the middle, so I can see this exit, and I can see right here over this box, because that would be her other exit. And really simply, I just kind of wait it out. I don't push her. I don't try to be, overcommitting. And I'm just listening for her footsteps, trying to decide where she's coming from. She pushes through here, and I get the kill. And then we win the round off that. And I get an ace as well, but that's not really as important. Getting the ace doesn't really matter. And yeah, and you can kind of see I'm aiming here, and then I start hearing her footsteps, so I aim here, then I think she might be back and forth, and then I decide she's definitely coming from here. So I block myself off from this exit point, and although we know she's going to be coming this way based on the audio cues that she gave us, this is just a good habit to get into. And she ends up pushing through, and we get the ace, and that's the round win. So that is it for the video, and I hope this was all really useful and helpful for you. We talked about how to retake a site, angles to look at, and as you're looking at different angles, you know that part of the site is clear until you have a complete and total retake of an area that is being occupied by more members than yourself. Obviously, it comes down to winning gunfights, but if you're doing that and you're picking off members of their team, you're going to claim more and more of the site. And then stalling at the very end making sure that your teammate has enough time and is not pressured by the last enemy alive by stalling. You can also stall in many different ways, but this is just one situation where you could be stalling. So I just would like to thank you for checking out the video. Please be sure to like it if you enjoyed it. Share it with your friends if you know other people would like to learn more about Valorant strategies and gameplay. Subscribe for more educational Valorant videos. Be sure to follow me on Twitter if you have any further questions, and be sure to DM me if you have any further questions. And we will see you all in the next one.